stop went for a while, but still. Idaho Falls on 86 and it drops into 84. And you're right on top of Twin Falls. And I looked at my daughter and said, you realize 2 hours I could be home. And I've got 5 more hours to get to your house and then do the same darn thing.
I gotta go to shoot.
Well, I gotta send it back down.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, well,
Thank you, Eddie.
Make up for not being here before.
But it was very.
I kind of want to ask.
Yeah, I played hooky last week. The last minute, I've been busy all day, and the last minute, I just didn't feel like getting dressed. Which is a bad excuse, but the truthful one I well, that was my thinking, kind of amazing. And I tell how are you?
Just trying to get
Well, I know why now. And that's why did you get to know? She'll go get one.
Thank you.
Nice.
So yeah.
Yeah, that's never any fun.
It's not good.
Alright. Yeah, it happens sometimes, and it was a whole lot of fun.
I was in the waiting outside, between dogs, and
But it was incredibly cool. They showed us the fireworks.
which I thought was good.
And you're also going to be.
Okay. Oh, all four of you. Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Okay, I will put it in. Okay, take care of you well.
Well, I've been busy bagging progress around my house today. I got a little tonight.
Are you all packed? And I never forget anything. Big things. I'm sure I wasn't inside. I'm sorry. Pretty good. Very responsive. It just did a conversion for boy number 3 and boy number 4. These Israeli couples who are here to these surveys. So that's a cool opportunity to get to the invitation at the Air Force Base today and that so all sorts of stuff. And I did see it was one of the best. It's very cool. I thought it was really, to my eyes, incredibly Shabbat Shalom. I'm Rabbi Bat Shabbat Shalom. I'm Rabbi Bat Sheva Appel. I'm interim rabbi here at Cappy this year. And we are now officially in the Hebrew month of Elul, which is the month that leads up to Rosh Hashanah. So before Shabbat comes in, I'm going to sound the shofar. So the shofar, and thank you to our musicians, because our musicians usually give us some sort of warm-up song, but this is going to be our warm-up song today. So thank you very much to the Pollocks and to Sandy. So the shofar is a horn, which means that it comes from an animal and it's something that you can hollow out. And it's an incredibly ancient instrument because all it takes is some breath and the horn. And the horn can come from any animal that is kosher to eat. So this one comes from a species of antelope, and you could have a sheep's horn, and you could have a goat horn, rather ram's horn and billy goat horn. And there are all sorts of horns that you can have. A rabbi that I worked with had an ibex horn, which is really incredibly beautiful. But you can't use the antlers from a deer because deer have antlers, not horns. And as wonderful as that envision in your head of something Seussian is, it's not going to be like Dr. Seuss. You need a horn, so it can't be an antler. And it can't be a cow's horn. Even though cows are kosher to eat, we don't use a cow horn for a shofar. So why not? Because, perfectly acceptable to eat. Because in the wilderness, our people, not that long after getting the 10 Commandments, decided to create an idol and start worshiping it in the wilderness. And the shape of that idol was very bovine. I mean, it was a calf, but it was very bovine. So in order not to remind God of that thing that we did that time, we don't use the horn from a cow. Okay? It is just that. We don't want to remind God of that thing that we did that time. So, and you can't use, I talk about this with the religious school kids this week on Wednesday. You can't use a narwhal horn because a narwhal horn isn't a horn, it's a tooth, and we don't eat whale. Whale's not kosher. You can't use a unicorn horn because unicorns don't exist. And it's kind of horse-based, and we don't eat horses. Doesn't chew its cud, does not have a split hoof.
And so that is, and we can't use a rhinoceros horn because a rhinoceros horn really isn't a horn. And we don't eat rhinoceros. There you go. It's really pretty straightforward when you think about it. So there are a series of tones that are sounded. The first one is a single blast, and it's called a tequila. Everybody repeat, tequila. Tequila. The second one is that single blast broken into 3, and it is called shivarim, which means broken. And everybody say shivarim. Shivarim. The third one is you take each of those 3 pieces and you put it into at least 9 pieces. So you go from 1 to 3 to more than 9, and that's called teruah. Everybody say? Teruah. Oh, good, you guys are doing well. And then the last sound that is made is called a tekiah gedolah, because it is a great big tekiah. That's what the word gedolah means. So, tekiah gedolah. Great. So, this is, some people like loud, I tell this to the kids, and I'll tell this to the adults too. Some people love loud noises, and some people don't. If you don't like loud noises, I invite you to do this, because it can be really loud. It sounds great in this space, but for some people it's not everybody's cup of tea, and so if you have some sensory sensitivities, keep that in mind. It is typically said, you typically listen to it while standing, so I'm going to invite you to stand if you're comfortable in doing so. So please rise. And I'm going to say one of the notes, I'm going to sing it, and you're going to repeat it back to me, okay? Tekiah. Tekiah. Shivarim. Shivarim. Okay. Teruah. Teruah. Okay. Tekiah gedolah. To remind us of the work that we need to do in repentance before Rosh Hashanah gets here. I also find that it's helpful for me because then I can remember, I can practice my shofar skills. So, Shabbat Shalom, welcome to our Shabbat evening service. We are a diverse community that encompasses a wide range of backgrounds and experiences. We are using Mishkan Tefillah tonight, which looks like this. When I invite you to stand, please do so as you are able and comfortable in doing so. And if you find the need to be seated after you stand up, please be seated. Thank you to our musicians this evening, which include Petra Pollack, Steve Pollack, and Sandy Barrington. And I'm willing to bet that Sandy's going to recruit at least one person to sing before the night is over. Anybody want to give me the under and over on that? This is a reminder to please turn off your cell phones and your other technological devices that might remind you of the outside world and not Shabbat. They're not very Shabbatistic. So if you will, just think about it. Think about the watch. I'm checking mine right now. Think about the phone. Think about anything. Does anybody still have a pager? Anybody still? I think they still exist, but I don't know if anybody still has one. Oh, okay.
Doctors still have them.
Doctors still have pagers. That's good to know. Okay, I'm going to invite you to turn, please, to page 127. Page 127 in the Mishkan Tefillah, and we are at the bottom of the page together. We offer thanks, O God, for this Shabbat, which unites us in faith and hope. For Shabbat holiness, which inspires sacred living. For Shabbat memories glowing even in darkness. For Shabbat peace, born of friendship and love. We offer thanks and blessing, O God. We continue on page 131 in the middle of the page, and please join with me. Yismachu Hashamayim, Yismachu Hashamayim, Yismachu Hashamayim, V'takel haaretz, Yismachu Hashamayim, Yismachu Hashamayim, Yismachu Hashamayim, V'takel haaretz, Yerahayam, 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 Umelo, Yerahayam, 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 Umelo, Yismachu Hashamayim, Yismachu Hashamayim, Yismachu Hashamayim, V'takel haaretz. We continue on page 138 with the singing of Lecha Dodi, but there are special instructions for this one, and I'm sure that we are about to get those special instructions.
So we begin with the first verse, rather than the chorus as we do in other versions of this, and we sing every other verse. And on the last verse, we stand and face the entry to the synagogue.
Please stand.
Shalom.
Please be seated. We continue together on page 145 in the English. Teach me, O God, a blessing, a prayer, on the mystery of a withered leaf, on ripened fruit so fair, on the freedom to see, to sense, to read, to know, to hope, to despair. Teach my lips a blessing, a hymn of praise, as each morning and night you renew your days. Lest my day be today as the one before, lest routine set my ways. The Chatzi Kaddish is found on the facing page, page 144. Yikadal v'yikadash amirabah, ve'amad livrach hirtei amnich mahutei, ve'chayeh onov yomecha, u'chayeh techo beit Yisrael, ba'akala u'dizman karim, ve'yemeru Shnei kutsham rehu, ve'ela min kol birchata, ve'shirata, tush berchata v'nerkevata, damiram ve'alma, v'yimeru. We continue on page 264. Page 264, I know some of you stood immediately, but I'm going to give the rest of you time to flip forward. Page 264, please rise as you are comfortable and able to do so. We continue in the middle of the facing page in English. Adonai, your majesty is proclaimed by the marvels of earth and sky. Sun, moon, and stars testify to your power and wisdom. Day follows day in endless succession, and the years vanish, but your sovereignty endures. Though all things pass, let not your glory depart from us. Help us to become co-workers with you, and endow our fleeting days with abiding worth. Baruch atah Adonai, Hama'ari v'Amin. Page 266, Ahavat Olam.
Amen.
we continue with Shema, page 267. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Please be seated and please join with me in the V'ahavta, page 268. V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levacha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol me'otecha v'hayu advarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom ad levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'tivarta B'shivtecha b'beitecha u'b'leptecha b'derech u'b'shoftecha u'kunecha u'b'shartam me'od tayatecha ve'ayu l'totafot b'neinecha u'b'taftam al mezuzot beitecha u'v'yisharecha leman tizkeru Vasitem et Yitzchak, Vitem Giroshim Elohechem, Ani Adonai Elohechem, Asher Hoseit Yetchem Me'eretz Mitzrayim, Liot Lachem Elohim, Ani Adonai Elohechem, Adonai Elohechem. Page 269, we continue responsively by paragraph. We worship the power that unites the universe, a promise of harmony for all. Yet that oneness includes our trust, as imperfection and evil abound. Before our eyes there is a vision of perfection, order, and goodness. There is evil enough to break the heart, and there is good enough to exalt the soul. When will redemption come? When we grant everyone what we claim for ourselves. Long ago, we escaped the tyranny of Egypt. Our people saw the power of the Most High. We learned God's presence redeems time and event, so we celebrate this power that makes for freedom. We continue with Mi Chamocha, page 270.
Your first guest singer, Annabelle?
Oh
Page 271.
Ashkenadim, prayer for shelter.
Join me in the middle of the following page in the English. The people of Israel shall keep Shabbat, observing Shabbat throughout the ages as a covenant for all time. It is a sign for all time between me and the people of Israel. For in 6 days Adonai made heaven and earth, and on the 7th day God ceased from work and was refreshed. We continue now on page 273 with the Amidah, the prayer that is said while standing. We'll read the first couple of prayers together, and then we will pause for a time of individual prayer. Please rise as you are comfortable in doing so. Adonai shefatati tahu via gitehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu Elohei Avotenu Mosheinu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Elohim Borah, El Elyon, Gomer Chasadim Tovim Levikonei Ahod, V'zocher Chasei Avodim Ahod, U'nevihu Ba'adei B'neihem, L'man Shemo Be'ahava, Melech Rozer Moshiach U'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham Be'ezrat Sarah, Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai, Mechayei HaKol Atah Rav Le'Moshiach, Mori Atal, Mechakel Chaim Be'chesed, Mechayei HaKol Be'rachamim, Somer Noflim Be'ofer Olim, Matir Asurim, Umkayei Emunato, Lishenei Afar, Nichamocha Bal Giburot, Omito Baruch atah Adonai, Mekayeh HaKol. Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, u'kadoshim b'chol yom yalucha selah. Baruch atah Adonai, Ahel HaKadosh. Page 278 in the middle. May these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth. May all who struggle find rest on this day. May all who suffer find solace. May all who hurt find healing on this day. May all who despair find purpose. May all who hunger find fulfillment on this day. And may we all live in such a way that this day fulfills its promise. Baruch atah Adonai, Mekadesh HaShabbat. We will now pause for a time of silence and inner reflection, each of us in his or her own hearts, prayers, and meditations. If your attitude of prayer insists that you remain standing, please do. If your preferred attitude of prayer is to be seated, please be seated. We continue individually now through page 285. Prayers for peace seem like a most excellent idea on this Shabbat, page 282. We offer thanks now for all the gifts and blessings that we enjoy, for our celebrations and our simchas. I'd like to invite anyone in the congregation who is celebrating or who has something that they are especially grateful for to share their joy and thanksgiving with our community. And I will say I'm also thankful for the people who are joining us virtually this evening. My gratitude to you. So who would like to share something that they are thankful for? Yes.
I am feeling thankful that I was able to teach all week in person and on Zoom as I did for the first 2 weeks because I was sick.
So I'm so glad that you're feeling so much better and that you were able to teach in person this week instead of on Zoom. Yes, yes, I totally understand where you're coming from. Okay, yes.
I'm grateful for having a procedure done that turned out to be successful, and so that it was a skin cancer thing, so.
Mazal tov on having a successful procedure and having everything it looks like everything's gonna be great. Wonderful, that's fantastic news. Yes, Roy.
I am very grateful for Oliver Thompson, Joanna Jost, and all of the volunteers that invested numerous hours last week for our Idaho Jewish Festival. We had over close to 3,000 people in and out of our buildings.
Yeah, I would agree with you, Oliver Thompson and Joanna Jost and all of the volunteers, numerous volunteers who made the Idaho Jewish Festival what it was. It was astounding. I was blown away by how amazing it was. So thank you to all of you. And Becky, I think you're going to say thank you also to Roy Ledesma for all of that he did with regard to, I can read your mind now. Other things, yes.
I forgot one. Last Wednesday night, it was the first Rosh Chodesh that I hosted, and I wanted to thank everybody who wanted to attend. We had a good time.
So thank you for hosting for Rosh Chodesh Elul, and I understand that it was really a lovely evening. So thank you. Yes.
So in the month of Elul, we want to sound the shofar, so I'm practicing. And so far, my neighbors have not called the Humane Society.
Okay, so we have thanks that we're able to practice a very loud musical instrument known as the shofar during the month of Elul and not upset and irritate the neighbors. Okay, good. Any other things? Yes.
I'm great for the Jewish festival because you're not in the phone book and I've been trying to get a hold of you and find you and see when you meet or anything.
Here we are.
So I made your pastrami sandwich and missed it because the line was so long. But I got to go through the synagogue and was able to get that tour and found out that you have your meeting starting on tonight at 6 o'clock and all of us others out there are invited because the only thing I know about the Jewish tradition is what I see on JBS, the Jewish Broadcasting Service. So that's where I learned some of the melodies, but it's really hard to understand Hebrew and to do this. But I'm grateful that you're inviting us from out there to be able to come.
And we're always delighted to host guests, and we are thrilled that the Delhi Days, also known as Idaho's Jewish Festival, did exactly what we wanted to do, which is to let people know about the vibrancy of Jewish life here in Boise. So thank you. Yes?
I am grateful to be participating in Project Zoo with a month-long learning for Elul with a really lovely and knowledgeable group.
Wonderful. So you took us up on the opportunity to become part of Project Zug for the month of Elul, and that's wonderful. I'm glad that they have paired you up with a really good study partner. For those of you who are going, I missed out, it's okay, because there will be other Project Zug that you can sign up for, and you too can have a really amazing, lovely study partner. There you go, yes.
I'm gonna echo that. This is my third session with Project Zoom, so I'm really excited. And I've also met a really great person through that, but she lives on the East Coast.
Okay, so we have yet another Project Zoom person who is having just a delightful study opportunity. Great. Yes.
I'm thankful that Petra made it through her first experience with COVID, which she kept us out for a little while, but she recovered in time for us to be able to travel last weekend to Wisconsin for Denise's wedding with all our kids and grandkids and all my siblings and their kids and grandkids. Very festive time, and we were thrilled to go. And today is our grandson Ethan's 12th birthday,
Woo.
and yesterday was our granddaughter Magdalena's 13th birthday.
Oh my goodness.
Lots of stuff to celebrate.
Oh, lots to celebrate, lots of time to be with family. I'm so glad that you were still able to be with family. And I'm so happy that you're feeling so much better. And good on you for postponing COVID for 4 years. That's pretty impressive. That's really pretty impressive. Shall you say maybe what your simcha for the week is?
Sure. Yeah, we're thankful for a healthy baby boy who is today 2 weeks old and has been converted to Judaism. He's hungry now, so he doesn't
Yeah, that was delightful. I loved celebrating with you all, so I'm so glad that I was able to do that. So that's what I'm thankful for. Anybody else who wants to share something? Yes, Michal.
I am thankful that the Haitian refugee that I've been hosting for over 6 months now, as he goes through the asylum process, finally got a work permit and a social security number, and things are moving along, and he's starting a job on September 11th at Amazon warehouse.
Fantastic. So the Haitian refugee that you've been working with, things are really moving now with a work permit and a social security number and a job. All of those things in the correct order. Fantastic. Okay, anybody else?
I don't know if we're all going up, but a bunch of us are about to leave for Eastern Europe.
So I had offered the possibility of people who were going to Eastern Europe to come and get a blessing tonight, but I never heard that anybody was going to be here. So are there people here for that blessing?
Yes.
Oh, so we will definitely do that. I'm glad you said something, Debbie, because I was like, gee, I'm so sad that nobody took me up on my offer. Okay, so now I know that somebody did take me up on the offer.
We just didn't tell you, you told us you.
We
were told at the meeting that you would, or in the email, that you would just do it and whoever felt like coming up would come up.
Yeah. I need just a little bit more. I just need just a touch more than that. But I will certainly be able to do a travel prayer for all of you, because it's very exciting that you are getting ready to go on your trip. I'm thrilled. Okay, so let me just. Oh, look at that. Moments of transition, setting out on a journey. I'm good to go. I'm Modima Nafmulak. I'm very thankful for that. Anyone else who wants to share something that they're happy about? Okay. For all these things, Eternal One, we say Modim Anachmulak. We give thanks to you, source of all. May we go from strength to strength. And may we always offer our abundant thanks for your many blessings along the way. And let us say, Amen. Okay, if you're here for your travel blessing before you go off to Europe, would you please raise your hand so I get a sense of how many? Ooh. Excellent, okay. I think I can fit you all up here, so why don't you all come up onto the bima, and if everybody who's comfortable in doing so would please rise.
I don't have us responded, we just.
I know, well, I didn't.
That's
Freddie,
fine.
but Mark, Freddie also.
Okay, I think she's fine with both.
For whatever reason, I can't get that open. So if you'll cluster in front of me, facing me, so that, the blessing doesn't like bounce off somewhere. You all are sending out next week, aren't you?
What day?
Thursday. Thursday, oh my goodness.
I'm leaving on Sunday.
Okay, very cool, very, very cool. יהי רצון מלפניך אדוני אלוהינו ואלוהי אבותינו ואמותינו שתוליכנו לשלום ותצעידנו לשלום. May it be your will, Adonai, our God and God of our ancestors, that you guide all of these lovely people and all of the people traveling with them safely on their journeys, that you lead them on their path in peace, and that you allow them to reach their desired destination with life, joy, and peace. Protect them from all obstacles along their way, and bestow blessings on the work of their hands, and grant grace, loving kindness, and compassion to them, and in the eyes of all whom they encounter along the way. Baruch atah Adonai shomea tefillah. Blessed are you, Adonai, who watches over us on our journeys. One more blessing.
Do we get a blessing for the coming back?
You'll have to let me know. You'll have to let me know if that's something you need.
Well, it's assumed, I know.
So, I'd like to offer priestly benediction for you. Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha. May God bless you and keep you. Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'yichuneka. May God's face shine upon you and be gracious to you. Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. May God's face be lifted up to you, and may God grant you the most beautiful and most precious of God's blessings, the blessing of peace. Ken yehi ratzon, amen. Safe travels. Have a great time. Okay, you can all go back to your seats.
There and back.
I know. Actually, I didn't know, but I guessed. You know what, that's kind of all of North America right now. Not everybody's good at RSVP. Just so, because, we're 2 months into this relationship. And so let me just say, I am always happy to bless people on the bima or below the bima so that people who can't get up onto the bima can be blessed. Always happy to bless people. It could be a teen with a new driver's license, it could be a birthday blessing, and we do birthday blessings on the same Shabbat as the catered dinners, just so you know. And there's birthday cake at the catered dinners per my request, just so you know. Totally willing to do blessings before a trip, a regular trip, a trip to Israel, totally willing to do anniversary blessings. I believe in celebrating everything with community. And the best way to do that is to come and share your joys with the community in this way. So just tell your friends. We're now on page 371. Page 371. We think of those who are ailing or in care at this time. We ask for names of congregants and friends who are in need of healing, and those who are watching remotely, please mention the names of people that you're keeping in mind now.
Heidi.
Okay. My daughter Elizabeth.
Yaakov Ben-C Hirsch and Karen Feldman.
Susan Pfeiffer.
Penny Kaplan, Barry Preminger.
Richard, can't think of his last name.
My sister Nancy.
Charlotte Zog, Dave House, and Lisa Horst.
Peter, did you have your hand up?
Okay.
Dorothy, Art, Dave, Sandy, Steve, Arlene.
Sunny and Ivan, sit down.
Josette Malloy and Fiona McSween.
Charlene Elch.
Young Swallower, a colleague of mine who has COVID, and my wife and son and Lycos.
Well, we're better. Finally, that's why you haven't seen us much. Betty walked out, my aunt.
Any other names that people would like to add? Yes.
Oh, and my granddaughter,
Oh. Yes.
Richard Cordes.
Here we go. You're good. To all those names, I add Simon Rosenblatt, Ginger Schulman, and Sheila McLean. Page 371 in the middle of the page.
Where are we at on the over-under for singers?
Yeah, I lost because I said at least one, and obviously it's more than one.
You win. So one of the things that we did not do at this service that I have been doing at our services is we did not set an intention for Shabbat. And that's because we're going to set an intention for the Hebrew month of Elul. So let me just... It's always hard when, oh, here it is. So this is going to be a guided meditation, and for some people that they're like, ooh, and other people are like, if you're in the category, you do not have to do any of the physical stuff, but I will give you questions to consider, and you might just think about those questions. Nobody has to do guided meditation. They just don't have to. So I'm going to start. Psalm 27. One thing I ask of the Eternal, only that do I seek, to live in the house of the Eternal all the days of my life, to gaze upon the beauty of the Eternal, to frequent God's temple. I invite you to uncross your legs and place your feet flat on the floor. Uncross your arms and sit up straight if you are comfortable in doing so. Close your eyes if you are comfortable in doing so, or soften or lower your gaze. What we are about to do is to imagine ourselves in God's temple and to use that as an exercise to review the past year in preparation for moving into the new year. I invite you to imagine God's temple as a space, and you are standing outside of it. It could be some impressive building. It could be a beautiful place that you have been in the world. The Grand Canyon comes to mind. But imagine God's temple and imagine that you are standing outside of it. You are admiring it, looking at it, trying to absorb all of the details, because you are very conscious of the fact that you are standing outside God's temple. I invite you to enter God's temple now and walk through the space. Think about what you see and what you don't see. Think about the beauty of the space, because the space is beautiful. And admire what you see, and very reverently and comfortably, because you do belong in God's temple. Take the time to walk through God's temple. As you walk, you begin to see beautiful books. All sorts of books, all different sizes, illustrated books, all different bindings, all different styles. There are books and scrolls and even ebooks. Imagine them arrayed around you in this space, in this beautiful space, and just imagine what books you see. Pick up the book that appeals to you most. Maybe it is the color of the binding, or it's the texture of the binding. Maybe it is the picture on the cover. Pick up the book that appeals to you most and open it up, and notice what it says on the title page. It says this: "This is the book of your life, the book of 5784. This is the book of your days that we describe in our high holiday liturgy." You will notice as you look at this book, it has your signature in it. You have signed off on this copy of the book that is found in God's temple. Find a quiet, comfortable place to be seated, sit, and begin to go through the book from front to back very slowly. You want to see if there are things that you recall and things that you are forgetting, because you will notice that God has been very complete in the record of 5784. God has recorded all of it, and your signature is at the bottom of every page. Think back to fall last year and Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur, and the vows that we made, the harvest of Sukkot and the joys of Simchat Torah. Is there anything that you need to remember? Do you remember anything in particular about Thanksgiving? Think back to winter, cold of December and the bright lights of Hanukkah, January and February when it was so cold and snowy, and we were celebrating the birthday of the trees in Israel, Tu B'Shvat. Is there anything that grew in those months for you? Is there, in that season for you, is there a book you remember reading, or something that you remember celebrating, or something that saddened you in those days? What was your planting for those months, for that season? Now think about spring, which brings Purim, masks and groggers. In this past year, was there a time when you were wearing a mask? Or was there a time when you thought that you were actually confronting evil? With Purim, we then have Pesach. So think about freedom and liberation. And May, the end of the spring when the weather warmed up. Now think about the summer. We have the celebration of Torah at Mount Sinai, Shavuot. There's harvest, there's planting. We have the heat, the smoke. Think about the most recent months. Is there learning that you did in these months? Or fun that you had in these months? Close the book, stand up, and return it to where you found it. Begin to walk out of God's temple reverently and comfortably, respectfully. You belong here. You know that you will be able to return when you want to consider again, when you want to think about this again. Come back to yourself gently and slowly, opening your eyes. Come back to our space here where we worship together as sacred community, and think about this one thing that we ask of God. One thing I ask of the Eternal, only that do I seek, to live in the house of the Eternal all the days of my life, to gaze upon the beauty of the Eternal, to frequent God's temple. And you can open your eyes now. We're going to begin to conclude our service. So we're turning to the Aleinu, which is on page 586. And I invite all those who are comfortable in doing so to please rise. Aleinu Shabbat Hakol, Lateinu Aleo Bereshit, Shelo Asam Kigoye Yaratzon, Velo Samanu Kimishpachot Ha'atama, Shelo Samanu Kanem, Velo Aleinu Kechol Ha'onam, Va'anachnu Korim, Umishkachim Umodim, Lifnei Melech Malkei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Page 591. V'ne'emar v'haya Adonai lemelech al kol haaretz, bayom hahu yeh Adonai echad, u'shemo echad. Please be seated. Page 595 at the bottom. There are stars up above so far away, we only see their light long, long after the star itself is gone. And so it is with people that we loved. Their memories keep shining ever brightly, though their time with us is done. But the stars that light up the darkest night, these are the lights that guide us. As we live our days, these are the ways we remember. At this time, we think of all those who have gone before us, those whom we remember and miss, those who we still mourn in the still silent places of our hearts. We are in the period of Shiva for the 6 hostages that were murdered in the last week or so. Ori Danino, Carmel Gaunt, Alex Lobanov, Hirsch Goldberg Poland, Almog Sarusi, Eden Yerushalmi. We are in the period of Shloshim, the first 30 days of mourning for Lee Edge and Perry Packer. We also recall Shira Cronenberg, Harriet Barrenter, Maria Stern, Edward Levitch, Judith Tellman, David Thompson, Judith Garter, Marion Holmes, Alan Salzberg, Linda Tell, Myrna Herman, Pam Human, who died in the past months. Are there others whose names you wish to mention? Please let me know.
Oliver.
Ron Shake, Sylvia Blaster, and Beatrice Geffen,
Sarah Hoffman,
George Rothman, Geraldine Whiteman.
John Barnett,
Robert E.
Rachamim Rubin.
Maruha Ledesma.
Those of you who are joining us remotely, I invite you to say the names of those that you are remembering now. And now I invite the mourners and all those whose custom it is to do so to rise for Kaddish, page 598. Yitgadal, Yitgadash, Shnei Rabbah, Be'alma Divrah Pirtei, Yamid Malchutei, B'chayachon, Yomechon, Chayed, Kol Beit Yisrael, Ba'agala, U'izman, Hariv, Yimru, Amen. Yehei Shmei Rabbah Mevorach, Le'olam U'nei Almaya. Yitbarach, Yishtabach, Yitba'ar, Yitramach, Yitnaseh, Yitadar, Yitaleh, Yitalal, Shemei, Kudsha, B'richu, Le'elam Min Kol Birchata V'shirata, Tushmechata V'nechamata, Ta'amiram Me'olam, Yimru, Amen. Yehei Shlama Rabba Min Shemaya, V'chayim Aleim Ve'al Kol Yisrael, Yimru, Amen. Oseh Shalom B'ramav, Hu Yaseh Shalom. Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'yimru. Amen. Please be seated. We say Zichronam Levraka. May their memories be for blessing and may peace come to all who mourn. Are there any announcements tonight of congregational events? Yes, Roy.
Sunday, there's a few. Special High Holy Day security training. We have a guest speaker from the SCN, David McKean. He will be providing security training 2 hour. If you plan to attend, please email me so I can put you on the attendance list. Also, on Sunday at 3 p.m., Shelley Wolf is continuing with her personalized link making. And, I don't believe just because you didn't go to the first one doesn't mean that you can't come on Sunday. Is that true?
I don't think that's right.
I don't think that's right either.
Okay, so they have a continuation.
Yeah, but there was a gap because of Deli Days, Idaho's Jewish festival. So in case you forgot that you're going back on Sunday, yeah, you're going back on Sunday. Anything else? So look in your emails for Elul thoughts. I'm one of 30 writers and they're being sent daily. This morning there were actually 2 in a single email for those who do not want to look at their email on Shabbat. If you've got way too much email in your inbox already and you would like to unsubscribe from this, just hit the unsubscribe button at the bottom and it will unsubscribe you from this, but not everything else that you get from Cabby. And if you're not getting it, you're gonna call on Monday to the office and they're gonna help you with it. Okay? Okay. Anything else? Are there any guests tonight who would like to introduce themselves? Go for it.
So the Landing family, we're visiting from California, looking for a new home, so excited to welcome us to the Jewish community.
Wonderful. There are many others from California who have migrated to Boise and found really lovely places to live. So it should be easy to find them once you come to the Oneg Shabbat today. Anyone else? Okay, I'm going to wish all of those who are traveling safe travels. I'm going to tell you that I'm going to say thank you to our musicians again, Sandy Barrenter, Petra, and Steve Pollack, and a cast of thousands. I'm also going to say that there is an Oneg Shabbat in the social hall, which is across the way. There's going to be wine and grape juice and challah, and one of the Israeli families, there were 3 Israeli families in the last couple of weeks, just so you know, brought like a whole baggie, like a bag of all sorts of delicious Israeli snacks. Oh, I knew you guys would like it. They're like, give it to the children. I'm like, yeah, no, I think the adults are gonna like it. I saved it for all of you. And keep in mind that that elevator is slow. And we will say the blessings over over Kiddush and Motzi once we reconstruct everybody who's in this room, okay? Wait for everybody to get over there, yes? Oh, how could I forget? That's the big deal tomorrow. Tomorrow at 10 a.m., we are having a child called to the Torah as a bar mitzvah. Felix Paxson Rodriguez is being called to the Torah as a bar mitzvah, and I think it's going to be a really lovely, lovely morning. So come join us for that. Anyone else? Okay, this service went much longer than I tried to, but lots of things to celebrate today. Page 625, you'll find Adon Olam.
I'll meet you down there, Freddie. I'll meet you downstairs.
Okay,
I can get up.
Sandy, I seem to always find, you know,
Flying around all over.
This was the comment.
Oh, okay.
Somebody make me.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
I don't know, I tend to, I guess I just attract music, the word, lyrics to music, which is great.
I did. I got it after we took the grandkids to Disney.
How's your feedback and challenge?
Oh, that's why then. So
Yeah.
it helps to have other guitarists.
Yeah. Well, he's better on the guitar than I am.
Oh,
And I guess
don't know.
Alana is better than
You're pretty darn good.
Does Ben play anymore? And I think his
He
wife.
does, he and his wife too,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's nice.
Yeah. That's really nice. Yeah. Wants to play with my voice. Yes, I wish they, you know how that goes. I found it, young adult. I had never met her before, so that's why I went to and had coffee with her, and Jeff Davis to read us. She wants to find some inspiration. So, I know, it's so funny. Let it go alone. Okay. All right.